All right, Sabrina, when you are ready, we will say take it away.
Okay, first let me apologize for any misspelling. My keys on my computer. Laptop was sticking very badly, and the nails don't help. Okay, my particular topic is on art integration, art education across the curriculum. It's a form of aesthetic teaching, and I truly believe that anywhere you incorporate art, you're creating a more wide sense of cognitive ability. But the simple fact is, that's where art started. Beginning started with art. They did not have letters. They did not have anything but symbols, animals, drawings, and so forth. So whatever you begin with, you end with. Okay. Okay, constructivism of the arts. Constructivism is both a philosophical perspective and a theory of learning. And as you notice here from the forms that we had earlier in the library from Dr. K, they talk about what particular type of field area you're in. And mine is definitely constructivist. Okay, it's a thought and process that connect easily with forms of art. Over this time period of research and art integration into all of the curriculum, I was very admired Christine Thompson. This is with her art education review. And she's very stern about what she believes, and she has proven it over and over again. A lot of other artists, literally artists, not just teachers, but artists, go back and read her work, and they really create work according to what they believe she is saying. So now art teachers are asked to also review that as well. Ms. Christine Thompson thinks that contemporary forms of constructivism vie with more structured pedagogical approaches in American school, recommends policies and procedures. And when we get down to the part about policies, it is crucial that I do mention this. There's a lot of different policies that are in place for art education. It's one of the first programs out when money gets low, even to the point as of today, the Endowment Art Fund and Humanities is being considered to be stripped, done away with, period. Not only would that hurt all students and teachers, but it would definitely cause public school students to suffer because that's their only outlet. We will discuss aesthetic teaching. The first will be the role of art is the teaching method. So in order to teach art, in order to make art work in the classroom, the teacher needs to know how to integrate it into her subject area. And I know we also, that's just too much work, it's so much extra. It's really not. If you are collaborating with the art teacher or other teachers about what you want to do, all subjects interrelate in one form or another. And art is the easiest one to do. We're also going to talk about the role of art is the, you can see that Mr. Word, teaching approach to the taught subject. There's a correlation between the educational role of the arts and the level of aesthetic orientation of educators and applying arts integration. And I do thank Marina for that. I cannot pronounce her last name. Any, I want to try.
Zompala. That's what I'm going with.
I agree. Now the hypothesis here for me is that integrated art across discipline first have it as the norm with some structured procedures. And again, teachers' first thing comes to mind, so my God, it's just more work. But actually, if you make it part of your lesson plan, it's less work than you do with your average lesson plan because the average lesson plan is about 5 to 6 pages long if you're very stringent about it. And in West Point, you will be. Now, it's coupled as an inclusive and differentiated, diverse structural tool. Art is not just drawing, it's actual educational tool, so it's going to address your differentiated instruction. It's going to address inclusive, meaning including those with special needs. And when you're teaching on different learning levels, integrating art into that situation, some type of way into that lesson, actually improves that student cognitive ability. Now, their social interaction is also improved as well. You're going to see several studies that have shown that students that are exposed to art in some form or fashion, or when it's integrated into their regular core curriculum, it improves their social skills because now they're able to talk to one another, they're able to relate to one another, and they learn things about one another. And considering that America is now what I call a cornucopia of cultural delight, having art in there is the way to be more diverse in your lesson plan. Okay? Now, again, particular habits learned in art transfers to different domains outside the arts. That again is history, social studies, physical education, which I recently learned. Didn't think about that one, but it works. Now, my main research questions, there's several, but the ones that I'm going to go over are the ones that were jumping out at me. Now, as everyone want to know, would it be beneficial to have in-school art teachers who are artists or just teachers? There is a difference between an art teacher and an artist. An artist who's a teacher is the best teacher and artist you're going to ever find. A teacher who just teaches art probably just got it as a add-on. So they never really went deep into the history and so forth and the cognitive scientific status of that. Would it be beneficial to offer refresher workshops to graduates of the program? I believe teachers need to be taught how to teach integrated arts, not to just give it to them and say incorporate it, make it work. They literally need to be able to go to this workshop, learn how to do it, and bring it back. Role playing. I love that part, role play. And even more importantly, just like we have to teach diverse classrooms, teachers need to learn how to teach diverse classrooms. This is your core right here, arts education, integrated arts. That's the best way to have your classroom more diverse because you're going to go over a range of different cultures. You're going to hit several different ethnicities, race, religion, the whole 9 yards, and it's done as a lesson and not as a debate. Okay, so you're being taught different things. And that's where your shared understanding comes in, and then everyone has a common language. And although that language is often referred to as terminology words, which with me is creativity, design, collaboration, thumbnails, and you'll figure out what that is shortly. But yes, then it relates back to your 21st century skills. Any questions so far? I think I skipped one. The next one was, how does participation in the arts affect low socioeconomic status? So if you see SES, that's what that stands for those type of students across all grade levels. And what is the impact of unequal access to the arts? Considering that the endowment fund is about to be considered to be cut, students of low socioeconomic statuses really learn very well through art integrated lesson plans. But it's hands-on, it's easy to collaborate in their heads, and they're actually able to relate to one another better. It has been proven that it helps in science, social studies, math, and English, and history, etc. And and I want to know this, is there an optimal age for age participation that impacts the student learning for long-term success? Personally, I think that they should start pre-K and start incorporating that art integration into the lessons. But as you know, by the time you get to middle school, they normally cut out the arts. And a lot of public schools still have it. Now they have a certain type of art program like we do in West Point, where they're able to get the funding because it's a high-level art class. How do variation in art programs quality affect the measures of student achievement and civic engagement? There's a few studies on here that's going to show you how the academics are highly improved, the social skills are improved. Let me show you that one. That one's awesome. Oh!
What's that say?
I don't know what happened there. It's good I had a second one. Okay, here is my research number 1. The significance of this finding. That's what's missing, I believe. I don't know what happened. How we went to
One of that other slide?
Yeah, I don't know how we went to that language.
Well, so far, we'll go with this one.
It doesn't have my, it's continued, but it doesn't have my research.
Ah.
Right, so I'm going to go to the second one. Okay, let's go here to art ed search. If you're considering incorporating art ed into your curriculum, into your lesson plans, there's a great deal of funds still available right now. It doesn't matter what your subject area is. If she decides to do something in PE and integrate arts, go to art ed research and they will send you money. Okay? No matter what the program is. If you some way can prove that you're integrating art and showing the benefits, so forth and so on, and it's a very easy grant, you just fill out and fill in the blank. Now, Art Education Partnership, this is back from 1995, but it's still present today and even stronger. It's supported by the U.S. Department of Education and the National Endowment for the Arts. You can see that. The Council of Chief State School Officers and the National Assembly of State Agencies. Now, this begins from the elementary, middle, and high school students. And before I stated, I wanted to know, should it start there and then go up, or should it start at middle school? Should they ever stop it? Again, personally, I think it should start pre-K and continue throughout high school. Why start something that works and stop it? If it's not broke, why fix it? Just improve upon it. That's my thought. Now, the studies have shown so far with RA's research is that elementary, middle, and high school literacy and language has improved significantly. Brule and Jennings, 2010, from their article, Helping Children Cross Curriculum Boundaries in the Borderlands Art Program at Free Elementary Schools. Their research demonstrated a positive effect between the duration of literacy and language development. Students became more expressive, used better complex language, visual thinking skills improved, and this was even for drama. And I threw that in there because PE, again, drama. And any other art subject, any other subject that you study, you can do the role playing, and it does help, according to Brule and Jennings. The reading comprehension improved, according to Ingram and Smith, 2007. Their article was Arts for Academic Achievement, a compilation of evaluation findings. And that improved their reading comprehension and fluency. And that's for all languages. Here, the mathematics scores improved significantly. The overall academic improved significantly, and the personal outcome as far as the engagement and persistence, the behavior changed, and I'll attest to that. I have had a lot of behavior students, but after about 2.5 weeks, the behavior changed because I found something that sparked their attention and made them want to learn more. And what I do with this is I actually go into other subject areas, email the teachers, let me have your lesson, copy your lesson plans, and I integrate with their learning into what we're learning in order for them to really just sit down and think about it. Critical thinking skills develop, because now they go to class and say, well, oh my goodness, oh, we did that in Ms. Campbell's class. And I'm strictly art and graphic design. So it does work. Again, the personal outcome was pretty much the same, and their social and civic outcomes were improved. And this came from Gervais, 2006, Exploring the Moral Values with Young Adolescents. And then there are a couple of more on here. Attendance also improved for middle school. And here you'll see the percentages. Here the language art passed by 77% of the state assessments. So when we collaborate with other teachers, integrate art into that subject area some type of way, it helps with state testing as well. But it does take a little work. You must know what's on state testing, what's the areas covered, and make it interesting to the students, because if they enjoy what they're doing, they're going to remember what they did. Okay, and they're going to want to continue that process. Now, on all grade levels, the cognitive outcomes were creative thinking skills improved or developed, higher achievement in the figural creativity, creative thinking, then critical thinking, then problem solving and reasoning. And they definitely have to do that. They have to critique work, they have to tell you why this work is important. They have to take those terminology words and apply them to the critique. They can't say, oh, that's a pretty picture. Or, I don't know what that is. They have to use those higher order level thinking skills. So I can know they know what they mean, and then they have to break that down for those who may not know what it means. Okay? The problem solving and reasoning skills, they develop more abstract reasoning, which is very, very important in any subject area. They develop decision-making skills and enhance their ability to visualize and mentally manipulate patterns. And a skill for solving multi-step problems. That came from Headland, 2000, learn to make music, enhances spatial reasoning. So when we refer to art, we're not referring to just drawing on a piece of paper. We don't do that. We're referring to incorporating the music, the drama, the visual arts, the fine arts, the graphics. It doesn't have to be just plain visual or fine arts. Okay, it's inclusive of all art forms. Now, finally, the high school, their literacy and language. Higher reading, writing, and verbal SAT scores. Because my students, they asked me, Ms. Campbell, I don't know how to spell that. Webster, Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Let's look it up. And believe it or not, they're proud of themselves when they do that. They develop literature identities. Yes, they must do poetry in my class, and hopefully in all art class and literature classes. The overall academic achievement, research shows students who participate or experience art-integrated curricula met or significantly exceeded state and district standard test averages. I attest to that. I did that at Hall County schools, and they were failing. It was like 2 years before the state came in. That year and the next year and a half, their scores went up. I left them with the West Point. West Point. I can't say it's because I left, because I did everything I could then by integrating the other subjects into it, and it worked. Kids remembered it, they enjoyed it. and the kids enjoy it.